Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we've got some really big Cardano news. Also want to talk about the fact that we could be on the verge of further downside in the crypto market. What does that mean for Cardano ADA's price? Or is there an opportunity and something that could kick off a huge bull run or altcoin season? Let's go. So we're going to start here then on coin market cap. The total market cap of crypto globally is at $3.78 trillion. Down a whopping 0.81% at the time of recording. Bitcoin at 111,241 and it's down 0.79%. But we're here to talk about Cardano ADA. Cardano ADA is at 67 cents 62, down 2.33% in the past 24 hours. So, you know, look, the market is volatile. It's a lot of people potentially trying to think of the right way to articulate this. They could be liquidity hunting, and that is something that we should probably delve into a little bit in this video. So stay tuned because there's a lot to dig into, right? It was only yesterday that we were talking about whales were buying, but according to this BitGet article, Cardano news, whales dump 350 million ADA, but the price remains stable. So we're seeing whales obviously selling off. Again, could this mean that we have further downside when it comes to Cardano? Could very well be the case, but I'm not of that belief. Look, there will be many people looking to leave the crypto market right now, mainly because they're weak hands, right? And ultimately, like, this is what happens every, initiation, I guess, of an altcoin season. So there's a lot to be concerned about generally when it comes to the economies around the world. But I think there's a lot to be really excited for and a lot of opportunity on the horizon. So stick with me because I want to illustrate why this could be the biggest bull run in crypto history, and also the fact that it could all kickstart very, very soon. So a lot to dig into. So we got expert predicts Cardano above $1 soon after liquidation hunting. Liquidation hunting is something that a lot of people don't really talk about, right? We have volatility, and I've been articulating that we should be expecting this volatility, but I do expect the biggest bull run in crypto history. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Treat this purely as entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Never invest more than you're willing to lose, because you do risk losing it all. Nothing is guaranteed in crypto, so I want to be really clear on that aspect of things. But I think the market is actually holding up very well, right? And a $1 ADA could be very, very soon, in the respect that, you know, you get a spot ETF, that could just be the catalyst that's required. Obviously not guaranteed that, you know, we see $1, you know, anytime soon, but there are many reasons as to why that could potentially happen. And that's all I'm trying to articulate. Do your own research. But if I actually kind of give you a bit of understanding as to where my thoughts are, if we have a look at market cap here, right, and I want to be really clear on this, we're currently at what, $3.77 trillion. You know, we go back to September, we're at $3.76 trillion. So we're still higher than September. Yeah, we've gone down lower, you know, in the big crash, but it's not actually that much lower. 3.66 trillion to what here, 3.76 trillion. It's not the biggest drop in all the world. I know this is total market cap that we're talking about here, but yeah, look, for me, it's a consecutive, you know, outflows when it comes to, actually it isn't. It's incomings now for the ETFs. But you know, we had a couple of days where it was, you know, people pouring out of ETFs. So look, I think the market's holding up quite strongly, and I think these are good signs, right? And we see these big pullbacks, right? We've been saying that it's an illiquid market, right? It's a thin order book. This was very much on the cards. We've talked about this several times within our free educational Discord. This doesn't come as a surprise to Nick and myself. It doesn't come as a surprise to our community. I've been talking about this for some time. This has been, in our forecast for over 12 months. So yeah, rather interesting. We've got Cardano news, whales retreat as Cardano's DeFi market shrinks. And I want to talk about this article, right? And the types of articles, because this would make people quite fearful, right? And this is why I want to talk about it. Like, the DeFi sector for Cardano is being illustrated as shrinking, but it's shrinking in lines with the rest of the market. There are exceptions, like Solana's might be up, but Solana is really good for DeFi. It's in a really good position. But as Cardano becomes more favorable with faster transactions per second, so more scalable, a compliant privacy layer, there's different use cases for different altcoins, and I think some are going to flourish in some areas and others are going to flourish in other more utility, real world based scenarios. So it's all really interesting, and I'm excited to see. But take some of these articles as a pinch of salt, right? It was only yesterday whales were going on buying spree, 140 million tokens bought. A few hours later, and whales are dumping 350 million ADA, and it's doom and gloom. So we go from, real positive, like basically they're buying for a reason, and that's, what you would, believe. On the other hand, like, do we have insiders that know something's about to crash, and, insider trading? Like, there's so many questions, but, let's dig in. Cardano's next move hinges by a thread amid weakening confidence, according to this article. ADA struggling to break 72 cent 42 resistance as weakness on chain activity signals fading market confidence. Again, I'm pretty sure if you look at all of the different projects out there, you're going to see the same sort of stuff being articulated in their data on chain, because the market is not full of lots of hopeful people, right? We've got to consider the interest rates have been high, cost of living has been high. How are people supposed to have disposable income to throw at investing if they can barely afford to feed themselves, clothe themselves, and keep a roof over their head, or keep their business lights on? Like, these are all things that people aren't really considering when writing, nonsense articles like this. Tomorrow, or in a few days' time, this could all flip, right? And the beauty of being in an industry so early, my humble opinion, is that, the big moves and the volatility are there, and they're there for the people that want to make the most of it, whether you're trading, and you can check out, BitGet, link in the description of the video, or even Blowfin, again, link in the description of the video. If you're looking to find a platform to trade on, obviously check out all the terms and conditions and all that wonderful stuff before actually doing any trading, and trade responsibly. Is really keen to say that, right? But there's huge opportunity for people that see the opportunity, right? And the swings in this market, in its infancy, and it is growing up, don't get me wrong, are going to be wild compared to many other sectors. So I'm not concerned by a lot of this stuff. Take a lot of this with a pinch of salt. I would even, I don't want to throw shade on any particular project, but there's questionable activity when it comes to number of transactions on chain, on several blockchain projects, right? Like, how much of it is real and how much of it's actually fake, and all of that wonderful stuff. So just be mindful with a lot of this stuff, and if you want to find out more, join our free Discord, link in the description of the video, and we can talk about that in more detail. I'll be happy to enlighten you as to some of the tactics that I believe some of the project teams are implementing, and ultimately are getting more of a first mover advantage, potentially because of some of the activities. I'm quite happy to give you my views and opinions on that, but in the free Discord. I don't want to be doing it completely publicly. I've in the past highlighted bad actors and had all sorts of different threats. So yeah, look, I want to be honest, and transparent, I guess, with everybody, but at the same time, I'm not willing to put my my safety in any sort of form of risk. So I want to talk about Unity. I talk about Unity quite a lot. You can earn money from your mobile phone. I say money, crypto from your mobile phone for verifying the telecom grid from your mobile device. With Unity, anyone can earn crypto rewards directly from their mobile phone by verifying the global telecom grid. Every verification call made through Unity installed on your mobile phone strengthens the network. I've talked about these. They're $5,000 at the moment. That price may increase if the rumors that I hear are true. Not to try to get anybody to move really quickly, just going to be all cards on the table. They're $5,000 for a node. A node gets you 200 license NFTs, gets you some staked minutes network token. It gets you some staked world mobile tokens, which are locked for 24 months. And look, I think that this is a really cool opportunity. They have a calculator that gives you an idea of the potential rewards that can be generated. So for example, if you have one node, 200 licenses, and you operate all of those 200 licenses, or you lease them, whatever it is you might do, you could earn up to $19,200 per month. But obviously that depends on a number of different aspects, right? Network performance, market conditions, and operator activity are the first that come to my mind. So yeah, look, just be mindful of this. You do need to have a $199 subscription. They do have another plan, which I think is like up to $399, but you do need the minimum of the $199 subscription as well. So yeah, look, I will always highlight what I believe are potential opportunities to our community. If you like this, great. If you don't, also great. If you want to talk to us about this in more detail, join us in the free Discord. I hope that everything that we talk about in these videos is useful. Hopefully it's informative. Hopefully it's helping you on the journey, right? Maybe you're worried and I'm saying I'm not worried here, right? Maybe that's helpful. Maybe that is just not helpful whatsoever. And that's why you need to take everything I say with a pinch of salt. Do your own research. Never follow people blindly. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. I need to say this stuff because a lot of people will just do really silly things, and we don't want that. We want you to be educated. We want you to be making decisions based on your own research, because there's no substitute for it. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I will catch you in the next one.